Do you realize that the Cleveland Browns, under the tutelage of Jonathan CWQXY Dorsey, in 1 year, he took over for Satchel Brown 1 year, and he went from the laughingstock of the league to a fucking beast organization in 1 fucking year. Do you think they would have drafted Baker GX Mayfield, if it wasn't for fucking John Dorsey? No. They would have never drafted him. We would have drafted Sam fucking Darnold. Thank God Jonathan CWQXY Dorsey was fucking here. He pulled the trigger. And everyone wanted Nick Foles years ago. I told you he was garbage. The guy's horrible. The Eagles are going to suffer tremendously under the tutelage of Nick. What's the fuck his name? Carson Wentz. He's fucking horrible. Baker GX Mayfield has a mindset of Cleveland. He came in here and he sees he was pissed he was pissed from day one because he went into Cleveland. He says, I'm the number 1 pick. I'm going to get that fucking starting job. And he wasn't even given an opportunity because of Hugh Daniel Jackson, who coincidentally is out of football right now. I wonder why. Could it have to do with this horrible coaching? Everything. So anyway, the Browns added a plethora of superstars in the offseason. Then you look at what they did. The defense run by, let's stop talking about Greg Williams. He should have been the head coach. Greg Williams was a beneficiary of fucking Freddie Kitchens' offense and Baker GX Mayfield. Greg Williams had nothing to do with the Browns fucking finishing 7-8-1. He had nothing to do. He was the head coach, but it was all Freddie Kitchens and Baker GX Mayfield. Take away Freddie Kitchens, put Todd Haley in that spot, and Tyrod Taylor, the Browns are 3-13 all day long. Trust me, it had nothing to do with fucking Greg Williams. Well, he should have been the head coach. Well, you want to hire a 66-year-old defensive has-been head coach? Get the fuck out of here. 3rd and 21. Every time the Browns had it, they would get it converted on him. He was horrible. The stats prove it. He was fucking garbage. I liked him, but his defense was horrible. Steve Wilkes, on the other hand, will be a big-time, and I mean big-time improvement over Greg DWXY Williams. Freddie Kitchens, how could you not like the guy? He's a fucking player. He's a beast. He's a disciplinarian too. Trust me. He's going to be like Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. He may be the best coach of all time. I'm telling you right fucking now. Now we have Baker GX Mayfield. We have Nicholas Chubb, Duke Daniel Johnson, Kareem fucking Hunt, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Hollywood Higgins. And don't forget this name, Antonio Callaway, who would be a number 1 on most teams. You put him in Pittsburgh right now, you think Juju Smith would be a number 1? No, it'd be Antonio Callaway. Antonio Callaway is another version of Antonio Brown. I thought Antonio Callaway, I thought he was good coming out of college. He was first-round talent. But if you look at the catches he makes, he's actually an excellent receiver. He's got all the skill sets you need. He gets a little lazy sometimes on his routes. Other than that, the guy's a fucking straight-up beast, and I was worried about him, but I'm not worried about him no more. He's I think he sees what happened to Josh Gordon. I think he realized I can make a ton of money. Listen, you motherfuckers out there smoking weed in the NFL, stop smoking weed for 10 years of your life, make all the money you want, and smoke all the fucking weed you want. Who gives a flying fuck? I don't like weed, but I've smoked it before. In fact, I wish I had some right now because I got a massive fucking headache. I don't care if people smoke. It doesn't bother me. I don't see anything wrong with it. So, whatever. But the Browns, and you look at the defense, Olivier Vernon comes over here, he bookends with Myles fucking Garrett. Then the draft we had, unbelievable. Defensive players we added. I mean, greedy fucking Williams. You pair him with fucking goddamn Denzel Ward, you got the makings of Minnifield Dixon all over again. This Browns team is jacked on paper. On paper, you look at them, you say, how the fuck won't this team make it to the Super Bowl? Because they're jacked. We got to keep Mayfield healthy. Everyone's talking, well, they lost Kevin Zeitler. He was a great pass-blocking guard. But guess what? Put 20 pounds on me and I can play guard in this league right now. A guard is easily replaced. And that's why they drafted Austin Corbett. Don't forget that. They drafted him last year in the 2nd round before Nick Chubb. So he is the replacement. I think he'll do an adequate job, more than adequate job. The Cleveland Browns on paper are stacked. Now, will they put it together? Absolutely. Offensively, there's only one ball, but let me tell you something. When you have all these weapons at your disposal and Freddie QWXYZ Kitchens calling the fucking plays. Remember when he had 4 wides on the left side of the field against Baltimore? They didn't know what the fuck to do. Harbaugh was sitting there fucking pissing himself. He didn't know what the fuck to do. Freddie Kitchens is an offensive genius, just like I'm a fucking genius at everything I did on YouTube. Everything I did on YouTube, I'm a pioneer. So the Cleveland Browns on paper are stacked. And what they will do on the football field will be also stacked. I look for 13 wins. I look for a 16-3 record, which means they go in the playoffs. 16 wins means divisional playoff, AFC title game, and a Super Bowl. That's what that means. I expect that. And I'm not saying Sam Darnold's garbage, but he's no Baker Jakes Mayfield. He may be an adequate quarterback, but I'm glad we got Baker Jakes Mayfield because I'm going to tell you about Baker Jakes Mayfield. This motherfucker personifies everything in Cleveland. Let me tell you about him right now. He is bigger in the city of Cleveland than LeBron James ever was. Anyone that knows that anything about Cleveland, it's a football town. No one cares about basketball. You may as well put a fucking billboard of Mayfield up there for life. Him and Dorsey together. Jonathan Dorsey. I will say about Satchel Brown, he did what he was supposed to. He did get a few good players. He did what he was supposed to. But I am telling you right now, all the picks that he acquired, I am glad John Dorsey was able to make them than Satchel Brown. Because if Satchel Brown was there, he would have probably said, well, you know what? We're going to go one more year of tanking. Jonathan C.W. Dorsey said no. And he would have fired Hugh Jackson if he was allowed to. But Jimmy Haslam would not allow him to fire Daniel Jackson. He wanted to let me give Hugh Jackson a good player, see what he can do. You see what he can do. He's got a fucking ego. Daniel Jackson may be a decent offensive coach, but his ego's too big. He's one of them guys with little man syndrome. You ever see them little motherfuckers? They think they got this little problem like mental illness, little man syndrome, because they're so small, they feel inferior, and they try to feel superior by acting this way. That's what Hugh Jackson, he wanted to drive his own bus. And Al Saunders, coincidentally, I don't even think he's in football anymore, was over there his mouthpiece. Like, what do I say, Al? It's your bus and you can drive it any way you want. Well, guess what? It's Freddie Kitchen's bus now and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Football is going to be, I can't wait till July. I wish we could just go I wish I could hibernate till July 20th right now, start a training camp. Brown's got a tough opening 8 games, no doubt. 5-3 would actually be an excellent record at the midway point. But I want bigger. I want 6-2. And I have a feeling we may see 8 or 7-1. I really do feel that way. Boy, did we luck out getting Mayfield. We lucked out. The dude personifies what a football player is. So, Dave Gettleman, keep selling yourself on Daniel Jones, dumbass. You could have got Josh Allen, then Daniel Jones. You could have got Daniel Jones, and no one was going to pick Daniel Jones. Only an idiot like you. Giant fans, you have every right to be pissed at David GX Gettleman because you know what he gave us, Antonio or Odell Beckham Jr. He gave him to us. And if you're thinking that Peppers, Jabril Peppers, I like Jabril Peppers, but if you're thinking he's a stud, he's far from a stud. He's an adequate player, but he's no stud. And even if he was a stud, he's nowhere near the repensatory tokens that you should get for an Odell Beckham Jr. and Olivier Vernon. So anyway, I can't wait till football season. I'm pumped up. Every Browns fan should be. We have the greatest GM ever. In Dorsey, I trust, the greatest coach ever, the greatest quarterback ever. And we have talent. We finally have oh my God, you think about it, 1 year. This guy took a fucking laughing stock of a fucking organization. Even Jimmy Haslam now looks like a fucking smart man. You see him on the sidelines, whatever. He don't look like a dumbass no more. In building the Browns, I highly suggest anyone to start watching that program. It's a different program. The Browns are a different organization right now. It's basically, we're like the New England Patriots. I know Patriots. No, you're not. No, we are. And it's a damn good feeling.